Hi and welcome to Hygge and Homeschool. My name is Maya and today I'm going to be talking about our March, the month of March. We've done a unit studies in trees. We've had, I feel like 10,000 calls. I'm still a little bit, still have a little bit in my throat. We've drunk 100 cups of tea, we've been in the mud, we played, we did, I talked about it in February, but now we did the switch to math with confidence. I'm trying to think, I want to talk a little bit about what we read and what we did. So grab a cup of tea, lean back, and now I'm just going to go through our March, and in the end I'm going to be talking a little bit about what we're going to do in April. So we had a forest and tree unit study, which was just so amazing. I read this book, The Hidden Life of Trees by, what's his name? Peter Wohlleben. I don't know if I pronounced it right, it's German. And it was so good. So I read it along with Matilda, who had this one, which is also by him. And we followed each other. We read the kids one together and I read the adults one. And I was so amazed by what I didn't know about the forest. When I grew up, I was surrounded by trees. We live out in the countryside. Though I won't say there wasn't like big forest, but there was like wooded area, little forest that I went into, and there was so much of it that I could remember. And I was like, yeah, that's right. That's how the tree grows together in pairs and what they did. I'm gonna be making a specific video about the unit study, but I'm just gonna mention a little bit about what we did here. We looked at onion skin in microscope to see the cells. We grew little flowers. We have so many flowers now out in our pots. They're still they're sprouts, so they haven't come up yet. We found a stinghorn mushroom as we were learning about, I don't know if it's stinghorn mushroom or stinghorn fungi, when we were learning about fungi. And yes, and I'm going to be doing a book review of this book because it's so, even though it's not homeschool is so good. So I would recommend it. It's a true living book for adults. So that was what we did in our unit study. And it was just super cool. I love everything with plants and trees. I had meant it to be more flowers and plants also, but we deep dived into trees. So yeah, so as soon as that video is up, I'm gonna link it below, or else just wait for it, it's gonna come soon. So that was our unit study this month. So my favorite read aloud, who Matilda and I read together, goes a little bit along with the unit study, is this one, Big Tree by Brian, I'm not sure I can pronounce it, Selznick. I hope I'm not butchering the name, but it was so good. It's also about trees, and it's about these two little seeds that get thrown out into, and I'm not going to tell too much, and I'm also going to do a little review on this one because it's so good. But the little seeds are thrown into the world, and it's from their perspective how they leave their mama. And I'm gonna share you, so there's this amazing artwork, and I don't know if you can see, so it's from the tree's perspective. So when the little seeds sitting on the tree, they can't see all of it, so you get, so this is a dinosaur, but they only see, parts of it, the way that it's presented in the book. So here's the tail, and it goes on, and I've never thought about, the characters in the book could be, we had where things are, alive, like in the Beauty and the Beast, we have the teapots and stuff. But I've never read a book from the perspective of little tree seeds that goes into the world. And it's so amazing, especially combined with this one, because everything in this one, even though it's totally fiction, of course, is based on real what do you call it? Like real knowledge, real science, I want to say. For instance, without giving too much away, in the beginning of the book, the ambassadors come, and you're like, what is that? What's the mama or the mama tree is talking to the ambassadors? And it's little mushrooms. And in this one, you learn about the whole network of fungi under the trees and how they can communicate. And they're talking about these giants who come running in this one, which is the dinosaurs who stumble. So it's a beautiful book, and I'm going to be doing a more in-depth review of it, but I can really recommend this book. And we also celebrated St. Patrick's Day. We always do that by making green Rice Krispies. Besides that, I feel the months have just flown away. We've been ill, we've had colds, it's been raining a lot, and the kids loved it. We're living in Southern California, so we don't get that much rain. And they made little canals outside in the garden, and they just enjoyed, playing in the mud and having fun with the rain. We also decorated for Easter, as you can see behind me. We have Easter eggs and stuff everywhere. We did that super early. We did it, I think, the day or 2 days after St. Patrick's. I was just ready for it, and we've already had our first 5-6 egg hunts where I put little raisins in the eggs and hide them in the house, and we have so much fun with it. And yes, I just realized I left it upstairs. So this one, I'm reading this one again. I have just started reading it again, and I'm just gonna mention it because I read it, I want to say when Matilda was like 4 or 5, before we really started homeschool, and it inspired me super much. There is a ton of lists and a ton of advice in here for homeschoolers. It's more of a classical education where you follow an in-depth curriculum, where I do more of a unit study approach. But I think it's so good, and I think you know what, I might just do a full review once I'm done again. It's like meeting an old friend. So I just want to mention this book, The Well-Trained Mind by Susan Wise Bauer and her daughter. Yes. So in last month's video for February, I talked about our math change, that it wasn't going that well with Beast Academy. It goes really well. She's still doing a little bit of the online stuff, and our renewal is coming up, and I think I'm going to renew Beast Academy online. I like it as like I want to say extracurricular activity for Matilda, but the paper books didn't go so well, and I had a hard time as a teacher, getting into them, because there's no teacher's manual. It's just comic book style that you read, and it's been working very well until recently, where there was some stuff Matilda didn't grasp. I also think she went from enjoying sitting, there's like a ton of little puzzles, so she enjoyed doing them, but now she has so much other stuff going on that she wants to do. So now she just wanna get done with her math. So what we tried was the Math with Confidence by Kate Snow. And I have the instructor's guide here. And I thought I was gonna be a lot more involved and teaching her. I was contemplating getting the 4th grade because she was already so far in Beast Academy. But I ended up getting 3rd grade for now, and then we're probably gonna switch to, or I think I'm 99% sure we're gonna continue with 4th grade of Math with Confidence after the holiday break, or maybe the summer break, or maybe we'll get it even before, because she's so fast. It ended up being that I have not instructed her once. I used the instructor's manual to kind of read up and figure out exactly where we're at before going into 4th, because there I expect to be sitting a lot more with her. But she's almost done. That's why I brought book B. She's almost done on her own with book A, and I want to say it has really boosted her confidence. I felt she was getting I won't say annoyed, but like she had lost a little bit of math confidence, even though I feel that's one of her strong sides from Beast Academy, just because it was hard to figure out how to teach it to her, and she had a hard time figuring out exactly where the videos were online, and we weren't following the online curriculum with the paper one, if that makes sense. So we just had a hard, if she had a problem, I had a hard time jumping in, figuring out what is it she needs to learn. And sometimes I knew how to get the result, but they wanted it in a certain way, because it builds on the way that you learned it, if that makes sense. So that's why I wanted more hands-on. And then the comical thing is I have not been hands-on at all. And it's not because this is too easy or too light. I feel this is a solid and good curriculum. It feels really good for us. It's just she has already been through almost all of third grade curricula. So we're just in Beast Academy. So that's why she's just, storming through this one. And I was contemplating if it was going to be too easy, but I think it's really good for us to get like into this way of thinking. And yes, then I'm going to get the fourth grade for next semester or next year. And I think I'm going to be doing a more in-depth review of it, where I do a little flip through and talk about how we did it and how Matilda did it and what I'm going to do next year. So that was our math. Then there was our French, and I got such a good comment about the well-trained mind, that they have some French, and I'm gonna look very much more into that. And I got some other leads, so some people out there who wrote to me privately, and thank you so much with suggestions for our French next year. I still haven't completely decided which way we're gonna go, but I'm looking into it and trying to figure it out. And now at least I have a lead. I have some different options, because I felt in February I was like, I have no idea which way to look for French curriculums. So now I thank you so much, and I'm gonna be sharing them here when I finally decide what I'm gonna do. And so I feel like I talk about this every month. It's the whole screen time, Matilda wanting to be online, and me first was like, oh, maybe she should be, and am I holding her back? I don't want her face. I'm not where I don't want her face online at all. I share pictures of her too. I ask her before I share. But maybe I'm not that crazy about her having her own YouTube channel and sharing videos all the time. So what we did also in March was watch The Truman Show and have like a much more in-depth talk about social media, what they are, what you see, if it's real, if it's this made-up world, as in The Truman Show. We've also been looking at spring signs, little flowers coming up, and I just love this time of year. It's so magical. The birds are coming back with bird song every morning. So I just love the spring. And as of now, I'm planning, or when I'm recording this, hopefully when I post it, we've started it. We're going into a physics unit study about magnetism and electricity and electromagnetism. So the first week I'm thinking magnets, and the next week electricity, and then we kind of combine in the end with electromagnetism. But I'm going to be sharing a lot more of that as we go into April. I might do a little short of where we're doing and stuff. So that's our April. And then in April, I'm just going to continue this one. It's so good. I forgot how good it was. I really like this book. And that has been on March. I still go back and forth with Matilda online, but we'll see. She turns 10 this summer, so maybe I'll sit down and have a little a little talk and a little think again. I asked her if she wanted something on my blog, like she could have Matilda's Corner, she could take pictures and write some stuff. That could be fun. Or maybe she wanted her own blog. I don't know. I think it's so cute that she loves what I'm doing. I have also, oh, I totally forgot. I have started writing again. I took a lot of writing classes at Berkeley at one point. Long story short, when we moved here, I'm a physical therapist from Denmark. I'm licensed in Denmark. I'm not a physical therapist in the States. So I was trying to figure out if I wanted to, pursue a degree, or what I was going to do when we arrived here. So what I did was I took a lot of writing classes also to get my English going better. And I really love that. And I wrote so much. And I wrote so many poems about trees. I miss the Danish forests and the trees. So now I've started collecting them, and I've taken so many pictures of trees too that I'm trying to make into some kind of illustrations. So I'm working a little bit about a book about that. And I've just started writing again. I'm writing more blog posts, trying to write a novel and and I think it's so important that, especially Matilda, who is 9, the toddler she's just like, oh, she's sitting on her computer, she's sitting with a pencil. He might not grasp exactly what I'm doing, but I love that they see me doing something that I'm so passionate about that they want to do it too. So hopefully I'm considering publishing my 3 poems. I don't know if anybody else but me would like them, but I know now you can self-publish online, so why not? And also, to show Matilda that, you know what, I made this and now I put it out there. So that was our March. A lot have happened. A lot of calls, a lot of coughs, a lot of mud, and a lot about trees. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for watching these videos. I always get so happy for every comment and like. So thank you so much. Bye.